Hey guys, Super Airsoft back again with another Airsoft video, and today we're going to be checking out a couple of really cool guns from Lancer Tactical. Arguably the best CQB 2-gun setup at around $400. We've got a primary and a secondary, and I am super excited to show you guys these because they're both unique, fun to run, and have some really nice features right out the box. If you're into CQB or just like gear that stands out on the field, you're going to want to see this. And as always, before we get started with the video, remember to like the video if you end up liking it, subscribe if you want more content just like this, and comment down below if you have any questions about anything that we might be going over in today's video. So quick note before we dive in, both of these guns were sent out to me for the purposes of this review video, but all opinions are 100% mine. There is no sugarcoating here. So we've got two pieces today. For my primary, I am running the Lancer Tactical Battle X Gen 3 PPK-20 in tan. This actually also comes in a black and a gray if, you know, that's more your style. But you know me, I like a little bit of tan. This is a fresh take on an SMG, and honestly, I've been having an absolute blast with it. It's lightweight, it's durable, and best of all, it's got a ton of bang for the buck. It comes in at around $249, which is great considering what you get. For my secondary, I've got the Tandemkross officially licensed Cthulhu GBB Airsoft pistol in their blue colorway. Look how cool that is. Stunning. This thing is a beast. It's relatively big, but it is full of nice to haves and honestly feels like a premium pistol right out the box. Price point on this one, about $155. Really solid for what you're getting. What's that? Together about $249 plus $155, about $405-ish. Alrighty. Let's start with the PPK-20. If you're not a fan of the typical M4 platform, like a version 3 gearbox, and also like 9mm mags, and want something a little bit different on the field, look no further. The PPK-20 is an absolutely unique option. Out-of-the-box performance is solid for the money, and the build quality is overall pretty great. But enough summary, let's go ahead and unbox this puppy. So, of course, in typical Lancer Tactical fashion, the package itself is clean and classy. It's got a lot of information right on the box itself. Lancer Tactical really nails the box aesthetics. Inside, we got a few little goodies. We got a little bag of BBs, a practice target, which is pretty nice to have, a cool looking patch. This is very similar to the patch that I got in the previous Lancer Tactical video, a sticker for your gun case or your laptop if you're one of those people, a quick start guide on how to use the electronic trigger. Yes, this has a relatively tunable electronic trigger at this price point. A very solid feeling 95 round mid-cap magazine. It even has a metal base plate, which protects it from dings and scrapes. Very nice, especially given how long these magazines are, considering they're 9mm mags. They're like the first point of contact when you're running around with a gun and you hit something. It's going to most likely be the base of the mag. So they're pretty susceptible to getting whacked, and having a metal base plate, pretty nice to have. Alrighty, here's a cool one. A quality control sheet that gives you the FPS information that Lancer Tactical got while testing it out before sending it over. Pretty cool. Of course, like typical fashion, we got a cleaning rod. This thing comes with a speed loader. Very nice. And of course, the gun itself in this beautiful tan. It also, again, comes in a black and a gray, if you're into that. All right, let's take a closer look at the externals of this gun. It's made mostly of high-strength polymer. Overall, the gun itself feels pretty solid. It doesn't feel cheap or anything like that. No rattles or random creaking noises when operating the gun. Overall, really solid. The gun itself is lightweight, which is the best part because it's made of polymer. You don't have a huge chunk of metal that you're lugging around. It's easy to handle, coming in at around 4 pounds and 10 ounces with a mag included. That's my own measurement just by putting it on a scale. That's perfect for CQB. My wife especially likes how light it is for her to use when she comes along sometimes, so great gun. There are a few small little touches on the outside all around the gun, like this Russian lettering that gives it a little bit of character. The ambidextrous fire selector is pretty solid. Ambi is nice for, of course, left and right-handed shooters. Now, it's not the most clicky and tactile feeling fire selector on the planet. Overall, it's solid. The trigger is crisp and doesn't have an overabundance of travel. Got a good weight on it. It's not too light. It's not too heavy. At the bottom, we have a paddle-style magazine release. Love this. Of course, if you have a 9mm mag, you usually have a paddle-style magazine release, but I just like the paddle-style magazine release. For attachments, we, of course, have an integrated Picatinny rail at the top and the front. It comes with low-profile iron sights as well, so a red dot won't get in your way if you choose to put one on. The front handguard is made fully of the high-quality polymer. It's got Picatinny on the top and bottom, as well as M-LOK on both sides, so plenty of room for attachments. Now the outer barrel comes attached right out the box with an orange flash hider. Remove that and you've got a 14mm counterclockwise thread for your tracer or suppressor or what have you. Fair warning, the flash hider was a little hard to get off. I had to get some pliers out and really torque it off. So for me, that's well worth it to torque that thing off. I don't really like running it with an orange flash hider. Instead, I'll be running it with this tracer unit that I have. I just took the internals of an old banged up tracer unit and designed a little housing. 3D printers for Airsoft, absolutely great. Lastly, at the very back, we have a folding adjustable stock. In order to adjust the length of the stock, just press the back flap and pull or push in the way that you want to adjust it and just let go of it and it'll be where it needs to be. And if you want to fold the thing, just press the front button to fold it and then press the front button to unfold it. At the back of the stock, there is a nice rubber butt plate, very cozy on the shoulder. Alrighty, let's get to the internals. Can't stick around on the outside for too long. Inside, at the heart of the gun, we have a Tokyo Marui Spec V3 full metal gearbox with a quick spring change system, which is very nice to have. That way, if you need to increase the FPS of this thing to play outdoors or whatever, you don't have to take the entire gearbox apart. You just have to change the spring from the back. Nice and easy. The electronics are wired to a Dean's connector, my absolute favorite. So to actually get to this, by the way, is a little bit of work. You would start by pressing into this little pin on the left side of the gun and then go to the other side on the right side, flip up the tab there on the right side, then push the whole pin almost all of the way out on the left side. And then once that's done, you then push the top housing back and up and it should just pop right off. Here you'll be able to put your battery in and then put everything back together to start gaming. We're going to talk a little bit more about the battery fitment part in just a little bit. Now the trigger is a Battle X programmable ETU. The semi mode can be binary as well as semi, and the auto mode can do 3-round burst as well as full auto, and there are 5 pre-cocking levels for responsiveness. And for the hop up, we have a rotary style adjustable hop up. In my testing, it seems to handle 0.23s and 0.25s with no issue at all. That's what I personally run. The hop up's nothing crazy to write home about, but it's nice. It's pretty decent and can hop things up relatively nicely. If you ever want to upgrade this, it shouldn't be too hard at all. And lastly, but certainly not the least, a 6.02mm inner barrel, tight for accuracy right out the box, and I absolutely love this. You don't get to see this that often at this price point, so tight bore for the win. Now, we just talked about a lot of cool stuff with the gun. There are a couple of cons, but this again might just be me nitpicking. There is a limitation with the type of mag that works with this gun. We kind of all knew that was coming. Most guns have a limitation with the mag that they use. We all know that. So only Well Pro PPK-20 mags or their Lancer Tactical PPK-20 mags are recommended by them for it to work. I do like more mag compatibility. That's always welcome. This one's a little bit more of a bigger one. The battery insertion is a little tricky. I know this is very typical for some AK style guns. I have to mention it. So you can only put in stick batteries. Anything else and you might have some trouble getting it to close completely. Mine barely fit and I had to press it pretty hard to kind of close it all up, and even still it kind of bulges a little bit and you'll be able to see the battery if you kind of look up the side of the gun. I mean, my battery fits. That's good, right? The pistol grip, although it's textured and pretty decent, it feels a little bit slippery for me personally. You might love it. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but again, you might love it. I personally like very abrasive textures whenever I'm playing Airsoft, but again, that's just me. But yeah, overall, that's about it. Minor complaints compared to how fun and functional this gun is, as well as how unique it is out on the field. Alrighty, enough about the primary gun. Let's start talking about the pistol. Now, this is a licensed Tandemkross replica. It looks like the real steel counterpart, which is pretty sweet. The blue accents on this are gorgeous and the gun shoots really well right out the box. And again, if you're not a big fan of blue, they do come in a couple colors. Price-wise, comes in at about $155, which is a solid deal for pretty much everything that's included with it. Alrighty, let's see what's inside. First up is the box, or should I say a hard shell case. Lancer Tactical, your packaging is top notch. This thing comes in a hard shell case. I love that, and I'm very happy that I don't have to buy another one. This just comes with one. Inside, we've got their Game Change Pro Squared compensator. That's what they call it, to put on the threaded end. This is pretty sick. This is how I'm going to be running it. And if you don't like that thing, you also get an all black thread protector if you don't want the comp and you want to protect the threads and not have it orange, you have that thread protector. And also it comes with a halo charging ring handle in our matching blue colorway. That's for the back of the gun. It comes with also a RMR plate for mounting a micro red dot. Very nice to have. A tiny little baggie of a few O-rings. Always nice to see this. So it comes with a 24 round green gas mag. And we'll talk a little bit more about compatibility a little bit later. And of course, the pistol itself, man, look how nice this thing looks. Let's talk about it. Starting with externals, that blue finish on the little blue stuff, showstopper. I love it. It's stunning. So the blue is actually a very vibrant blue. I'm not sure if it translates that well on camera, but it is a very, very vibrant-y blue. So it sticks out on the black base gun. It's nice. On the side, it's got like a 2-part thumb rest. One that's just for your left hand's thumb when you like two-hand it. And then the other one on the back, that's for your right hand thumb. It also functions as a safety. So very comfortable to hold when you have both hands on the gun. Now the trigger is a skeletonized, adjustable competition style trigger. You can adjust the trigger's depth screwing in and out the little grub screw that's on the inside. So really nice to have an adjustable trigger, again, at this price. On the side, we have an enlarged mag release in blue, super clean, easy to activate. Always love that. And man, look at the fluted outer barrel. It's so nice and blue and shiny. So it's primarily style and aesthetic, but it's also fluted, so it technically reduces weight, but it's mainly for the style, and it's got a lot of style, so I like that. All around the gun, there are a few officially licensed Tandemkross markings. The branding looks pretty tasteful. It's not over the top, and it just reminds you that this is officially trademarked. Now, the overall construction is polymer, which makes it light but sturdy, and this is a really good quality polymer. At the very front of the outer barrel, you get a 14mm negative thread. It's in orange. Again, you can put that black thread protector or the comp or your tracer or whatever it is that you want to put on there to cover that orange up. Or you can just rock it with the orange. At the top, it comes pre-installed with a Picatinny rail. Now, this Picatinny rail is screwed on there. You can take it off and then put it at the very bottom as well if you want, if you don't want the Picatinny rail on the top, or just throw away the Picatinny rail entirely if you don't want it. At the top, you also get fiber optic front sights as well as a rear adjustable sight pre-installed. But of course, you also have that RMR bracket. So if you have any sort of micro red dot sights of any kind, you can go ahead and remove the rear sight, install the included RMR plate, and then put your red dot on there. It's nice that they include that. As you can see, overall, tons of flexibility with this thing. Now looking down to the bottom, the grip area has this hive grip. It looks pretty cool, but again, it's a little touch too much on the slippery side for me. But again, that's just me. I have that gripe with a lot of different guns because I like very abrasive textures, but it's not bad. It's pretty decent. Now, I mentioned the blue charging handle when we did the unboxing section. Out the box, it doesn't come installed with this, so you do have to install it. It's pretty easy. You just unscrew the screw on the side of the halo ring, pull back the charging handle so it locks itself, then slide the halo ring right on top of it. And once it's level, you want to make sure that it's really level. You just tighten it up and you'll be good to go. Since we're here at the charging handle area, pull the charging handle back and lock the gun. And if you peek inside the chamber, you can see the hop up. The hop up is pretty decent. It is an adjustable hop up, so if you want to adjust it, you kind of have to take the gun slightly apart. It's really easy. You just click the little back button at the very back, and then you hinge the gun open and then pull it apart. You can then adjust the hop up from there on the top half of the gun. Now, there is a fun feature of this gun. You would think that GBB pistols will only shoot in semi. This can shoot full auto as well. So in order to toggle this feature, you again pull the charging handle all the way back. You flip it over upside down and you'll be able to see this little switch there that you can toggle back and forth between semi and full auto. Full auto is fairly quick. The mag that's included is a 24 round green gas mag, but this is also compatible with other G series magazines. So if you have like bigger capacity, huge mags that have like more than 24 rounds in their G series, it should just work with this gun. I like that. Increased compatibility, always a fan of that. Speaking of compatibility, you might have guessed it from the looks of this thing, it is compatible with the AAP1 parts and upgrades if you already have those. I want to throw it on this gun as well. Also, a little side note that I noticed while filming this video, once you have everything installed, like the charging handle and the front comp area thing, it's not going to fit in the original box. It's like too big for the original box. So you're going to have to take some things apart if you want it to fit. Alrighty. that's my little overview of both of these guns. Wrapping it up for about $400 total. This setup is honestly one of the most fun and balanced CQB combos that I've run in a while. It was really fun to run. You've got the Lancer Tactical PPK-20, which gives you that lightweight, snappy SMG feel. You got your primary that you're running and gunning, right? Super easy to maneuver. It's short, it's lightweight, packed with features that you only really see on some higher end guns. And then you pair that with the Tandemkross GBB pistol here, and you've got a secondary that not only looks insane with that blue finish, but also performs really solid out the box. It's loud, it's fast, and it turns heads pretty much every time you drive. It's a great combo loadout. Together, these two make a killer CQB loadout and just plain fun to run and pretty unique. And that's about it, guys. Big thanks to Lancer Tactical for sending these over. As always, all opinions are my own. If you're thinking about building a lightweight setup that doesn't break the bank, this combo should definitely be on your radar if you wanted to check them out. And as always, if you enjoyed the video or found it helpful, hit that like button. It really helps out the channel, and subscribe if you haven't already. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.